Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Code. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the DSP Morning Show here on DSP Gaming. It is bright and early. It is 11:07 a.m. Normally, this stream wouldn't even go online until like 11:15. But I got in here and I was like, I'm raring to go today. Today, I'm reapplying myself. I'm reinvigorated. I'm ready for major progress in Resident Evil Requiem. In fact, today, I'm committing. I want to get Leon to the Raccoon City Police Department. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I want to do it because that seems to be the highlight of the game, doesn't it? Like, that's the big thing about the game, is that you're going to return to the RPD and the actual map and location of the original Resident Evil 2. And I'm ready for it. I want to do it today. So let's get it going. Let's get people excited again for Resident Evil. I think when you get a game like this and it drags out, right, some of the hype is lost. I think that's what's happened this week is I'm playing this game every day for around 3 hours. Right now, we're 14 hours into it, and it's still going on. It's like, well, what's going to happen? Well, actually, yesterday, there was zero plot, right? Literally no plot development at all. Just raw gameplay with Leon, figuring out how his combat works, upgrading all of his guns, and exploring for optional stuff, which we did find a lot of optional stuff in addition to the required stuff for the story. And I loved it. Like, I did. I absolutely loved it. But the thing is, most creators rush through this game, which I'm now finding out that most people today who are doing playthroughs are not doing thorough playthroughs. They don't care. It's hilarious to me because you have to understand that I'm someone who's been around for so long, right? First of all, today is Wednesday, the 4th of March, 2026. I should say that. I forgot to say the date before I got started with my topic for this morning. But if you're not aware, okay, back in the day when I was a much bigger YouTuber and I was known as one of the go-to guys for video game playthroughs, I would buy a game on release day, rush home and unbox it, make an unboxing video, immediately start recording. This was before I even live streamed or did anything direct capture. That release day would literally be 8+ hours of release day gameplay that I would then upload to DSP Gaming, okay? Back in the day, I would have beaten Resident Evil Requiem within 2 days. Seriously, because I would have played at least 8 hours the first day. The second day, I would have been up early playing late all day long. I probably would have completed this within 2, maybe 3 days tops, and the entire playthrough would have been online already, okay? However, my playthrough would have been rushed. What do I mean by that? I mean, no, I would not have played as Grace for so long that I killed the 2 singers and figured out a way to kill the giant mutated blob man and also killed the butcher and also upgraded her gun all the way. I wouldn't have done any of that. Back in the day, my mentality was rush through the game. Beat it as quickly as humanly possible because people just want to see the ending right away. And you know what? That was the truth back then, is that there wasn't a system by which everyone was getting these copies early. People were playing the game several days early and were finishing the game before you even had a chance to touch it. That's how it used to be. Like, everyone would get the game on the same day and would play it and be a big dash, mad dash to finish the game and get your playthrough up before everybody else. That was part of my workflow and schedule, was be the guy to beat it quickly, okay? Today doesn't matter anymore. Why? People already got the game a week early. They already got a playthrough up on the internet. The ending spoiled. Everyone spoiled the plot of this game a week early. It was all over everywhere. So, what's the rush? And in fact, what ended up happening was, after many years of me doing content like that, it was about 3-4 years, okay? People started to push back against me, okay? And basically people said, listen, you don't do enough when you play a game. How can you actively and effectively review a game and say what its pros and cons are, what the best parts and worst parts are, when you're not seeing half the game? You literally skip almost all of the side content of most games that you play because you just rush through them to get to the end. And you know what? That's truthful. Even back in the day, games like Fallout, I really would just rush through, and then I would have, like, after I beat the game, I'd say return to Fallout 3, return to New Vegas to do the content that I skipped during my first run. That's actually what my mentality was. For the record, it was very, very successful. It worked. But after, like I said, about 3-4 years, a lot of people basically started criticizing me, saying, you know, DSP just isn't really the best Let's Player because he doesn't do enough. He rushes through, and because of that, it's just not quality content. And I didn't like that because I was of the impression that I was putting out stuff that was going to have posterity. And what I mean is, a playthrough that I did back then, you could watch it when it was new. You could watch it in a week, in a month, in a year, in 10 years, and it would still be just as meaningful and entertaining because of the way that I did my content. Honest, truthful, no kissing butt, no being overly critical to get clickbait. I wanted people to judge a game experience as a honest, raw, truthful thing when I started playing a game. But I also wanted people to think that it was trustworthy as a representation of how good that game is or how bad that game is or somewhere in between. And if people were telling me, hey, you're skipping too much, you're rushing through, this isn't representative of what the game really is because you skipped half the side content of this game, then I said I got to change. And I did. Like, I actively changed for the better. I started making longer playthroughs. I started doing content at length rather than rushing through. Now, going hand in hand with that, later on, I became a live streamer, right? And the challenge of being a live streamer, but also putting out lengthy, detailed playthroughs is time, okay? When I was just doing the on-demand videos, and it was only about putting out on-demand videos, I could literally wake up whenever I want, record whenever I want, upload whenever I want, and I could go as long as I wanted. This is back when I was a bachelor, okay? I was in my, my late 20s, early 30s. I had nothing else going on for me besides, hey, record gameplay. So I had massive flexibility in my schedule to put out as much content as I wanted whenever I wanted. When I became a live streamer, and then when I basically became a family man and got married, my life has changed completely. Now I have to adhere to a schedule, because I have to be here on a live stream, and people need to know when to be here to see the content live so they can watch it, engage, and support it. That changed the whole game. It made me essentially change up the way that I did content and started doing blocks of scheduling. Today, this game is the first block. This other game is the late block. Do variety. Bring a variety of people to the streams, right? That's why I'm still successful after 18 years, is because I'm not just known as a guy who plays one kind of game or a guy who rushes through all of the game, right? Instead, I do lengthy playthroughs, but I have a variety of content and I schedule it all out, so it takes me a while to get through games. A game like Resident Evil 9 can be beaten in 8 to 9 hours if you don't read any documents. You basically don't pay attention to cutscenes or you skip them. You know how to solve all the puzzles already. You're just rushing through, just doing bare minimum combat to get through. You're not searching. You're not solving the optional puzzles. You're not looking in optional areas. You're just doing the bare minimum. You could beat it in like 9 to 10 hours. That's true. But could you then say that the game was truly explored and played? Or can you just say you rushed through it? Right? Now, I'm not saying that that's what every single content creator did, but I'm saying that's probably why content creators can beat the game in 2 to 3 days, when for me, that's not the case. I'm someone who has a work-life balance. I'm someone who balances multiple games against each other. One day I played Resident Evil 9 all day. That was Friday, release day. Since then, I'm only playing it one stream, and then the night stream every day has been something different so that I have variety. Because the truth is, not everyone who watches DSP Gaming likes Resident Evil. There's people who are here for RimWorld, people who are here for indie games, people who want variety. And if I'm not giving it to you, those people are going to leave, and they're only going to be here for the stuff they want, and that's going to be rare, right? Because it's Resident Evil week. Don't come back unless you want Resident Evil. So that's the thing. I'm just definitely doing it very different from what most people do, all right? And the other thing is, some people are saying, well, other content creators will stream 8 to 10 hours straight. Yeah, and that's bad. Don't you understand that that's bad? That that's not good? That you're not, first of all, you're not supposed to be working 10 hours straight regardless at any job. People would consider that bad. It's supposed to be an 8-hour shift. That would be overtime. And you're, supposed to be compensated for the fact that you're overworking yourself. If you're a creator and you're doing 8 to 10 hour streams, the second half of the stream is not good. You're burnt out. You cannot sit here for 10 hours as a human and put out good content for 10 hours. It's just not possible, okay? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't younger people who probably would do it better than me, but I'm saying it's just not how you're supposed to do it. You have to do it in blocks, so you're refreshed or whatever, even taking breaks and whatever, you know. If I just sat here and I played a game for 8 to 10 hours straight, the second half of the stream would be garbage. I'd be upset. I'd be complaining constantly. I'd be playing like shit. That's not how you put out good content whatsoever. In fact, I would argue that in most cases, you probably only want to play a video game for 3 to 4 hours tops, because then you're kind of tapped out. You need to step away from it. So that way you don't become like tunnel vision, hyper-focused on the game, and now you play like shit. That's always been the case for me too. Even back in the day. Again, when I used to record the videos offline and not stream, in the middle of the day, I would literally walk away and take breaks for like an hour or more to refresh myself before I came back to continue on with the big marathon recording that I would do on release day. I couldn't just sit there and record for 10 hours straight. That's ridiculous, you know? So I get what you people are saying, that people are, oh, well, other people stream 8 to 10 hours. Yeah, and that's bad. That's why when you watch their playthroughs, they didn't do all the content. That's why when you watch their playthroughs, they get burnt out. That's why, you know, those people who are big streamers who beat the game in 2-3 days, they're big streamers. They didn't have to fucking play the game. Get it? They could have shat on a toilet for 2 days and would have got the same viewership and the same attendance. When you're actually trying to make a quality product for an audience that's going to have, again, posterity, that people will check it out today, tomorrow, in a year, in a month, because it's a valid playthrough, you have to do it right. You can't just rush through. You can't play it all in one sitting. That's fucking retarded. And the fact that people are brainwashed to think that today is exactly the same as back in the day when, again, everyone told me, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. I was like, but I'm different. My content's different. That's why I'm relevant, because I don't just chase trends. I don't do it how everyone else does it. And it pisses me off that people in 18 years later don't fucking get it, that I do things differently and it works, or I wouldn't be here. Okay? So, that's my mentality. Today, I'm reapplying myself. I want to play Resident Evil. I'm dying to get into it. I've been craving it because it looks like we're about to probably finish up the area that we're in with Leon, and we're going to go right into Raccoon City, and hopefully this is going to, you know, get more exciting to get to the original parts of the first or the second game. I'm excited for that. But attendance falls off. Support falls off. Listen, there's nothing I can do about that. Unless you want me to become a crap streamer who literally sits here for 8 to 10 hours a day pumping out schlock, that's garbage. All right? You're never going to get me rushing through a game and beating it in 2 days. That wouldn't even be worth, I feel, my time or your time. That would be a waste of everyone's fucking time to do that. Sorry, I don't believe that that's the way to do it. Back in the day, when there was a big mad dash to finish a game and be the first person to get the ending on the internet, yeah, that was a different mentality. That was also 15 years ago. Things change. But everyone just copies each other and trend chases and tries to do the same shit, and it's pathetic. I don't know why people just think that's the way to do it, because that's how everyone else does, so you're a peasant. You fucking just follow what you're told. Oh, this is it. This is, you know, mindless. Mindless shit. I am going to continue to play games at my pace so that I can put out good quality product that I can stand behind, you know? And even yesterday, you know, by the time that we were done with the 3.5 hours I was playing, I was exhausted. You saw I was making silly mistakes like, oh, here's a new mechanic where we're standing on glass, and I keep breaking the glass. Like, that's time to step away. I can tell I'm burnt out for this session. I need to step away. I'll come back tomorrow refreshed. I'll do this properly, rather than stand here for the next 10 minutes and fail miserably over and over and then rage because I'm tired, right? I just feel like so many people on the internet today are they're just brainless. They don't think. They just follow. They don't actually seek out content that's meaningful. They just trend chase or watch what's popular because it's popular. And then if someone does something differently, all you want to do is sit there and say, you're doing it wrong. Well, no. Doing it differently doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. There is an audience. Or else, guess what? I wouldn't be here. This wouldn't be my highest viewed playthrough in years if I wasn't doing something right. But the problem is everyone expects you to be like the new trend. Well, I'm not, and I literally never have been. I'm not going to change myself to be the new trendsetter, oh, look, I'm playing the game just like this guy did, just like this guy did. I don't give a fuck how they played it. I'm going to play it in a way that I feel I'm putting out something that's worth everyone's time, so you're not wasting your time sitting here seeing me fuck around in the game and just rush through it and skip everything. That's stupid. Okay? At the same time, I'm also not going to platinum the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and platinum it, because that's probably going to be a waste of everyone's time. There's probably little nuanced things that you need to do that I don't even know how to do, and I don't really care about that, all right? But I want to do stuff that's worth everyone's time, okay? And I hope you understand that. I want to be, when you're on my stream, you're not wasting your time. You're having a good time with something that's meaningful, and again, a playthrough you can watch whenever you want, okay? So today we continue on. I hope that you're here for the right reasons, okay? I want to have a great time here today with all of you with Resident Evil, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Oh, so-and-so beat the game in 2 streams. Yeah, and each stream was 12 hours fucking long, and they rushed through, and they played like shit. Who gives a fuck about their playthrough? It's brainless shit. It's garbage. Why are you watching it? Duh, because they're popular. So you're stupid. I mean, sorry. I would like to think that people who watch my content have at least a few IQ points in their heads. Why else would you be here? Because you chose to actively be here instead of watching the guy who has 20 times my viewership but is a mouth-drooling idiot and just yells slurs and fucking acts like a cartoon character, right? It's a little different, the content here. And it's not for everyone. Admittedly, it's not going to be for everyone. But that's okay. I just hope that people get it. And they're here for the right reasons, you know? We were having a great time when this game came out on Friday and then on Sunday. But now here we are. This is, what, day 5 of me playing it? Because the game is long. The game actually does have content, but the problem is the internet reports it as an 8-hour game because the internet is stupid as fuck. The internet didn't play the game, didn't take their time with the game, or even enjoy it. They rushed through it like dunces. The game is actually probably around 20 plus hours long if you take your time with it, which you're supposed to. That's the point of a video game, to immerse yourself in the world and the experience, to look at the lore, to see what content's in it. Not to say, "Durr, I beat it in 5 hours because I rushed like moron. Ooga booga, oh, my armpit itches. Ooh, look, I gotta cook dinner. Let me clack these 2 rocks together to start the fucking fire." What are you doing? All right. Stan, you're an idiot who doesn't play the game. He goes, oh, the game's not open world. You can beat it. It's linear. Wrong. You're outright wrong. The game has an open world structure. When you play with Grace, you can do things in different orders in the I say mansion because it is really like a mansion. In the care center, it's not linear whatsoever. You actually have choice to do things and explore optional areas and kill zombies that you don't necessarily have to, but you get rewarded for it. With Leon, again, it's actually open world. There's optional areas you can completely skip, or you can investigate and get optional content, but a lot of additional combat and the like. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. And FYI, I have an update for everyone. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed the zombie and biohazard animations for Resident Evil the last couple of weeks. This is actually, we're heading a week and a half into it. Once we complete Resident Evil Requiem, I'm going to remove those and replace them with classic gaming animations, most of which I've already used before. But I want to get like Sonic, Mario, Chun-Li, Castlevania, Mega Man, Mario. I want to get those into the rotation because it's a retro marathon on Friday. So I want to have those for like Friday and maybe some part of next week. And then probably around the middle of the month, I'm going to update for like St. Patrick's Day in spring. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the channel always feel fresh rather than have the same animation stuck for like a month or two. I want to try to mix them up and rotate them around and make it feel more interesting. So enjoy the zombie animations today and tomorrow we're probably beating the game. And then after that, we're on to retro stuff, okay? So there you have it. If you want to see those animations, contribute today and tomorrow because they're going away starting Friday, all right? Volan says, I like your immersive approach to video games. I'm sure most other viewers feel the same. Don't worry about the naysayers. Yeah, what you will find, I feel, you can disagree, is that people who actually are fans of my style, they're immersed and they want to watch the whole playthrough and they watch it at their own pace, but they will get through it and then they come by and they'll hang out and support when they can. Again, that's why someone like me who gets, a few hundred viewers a stream, maybe 1,000 or more views on a video on demand, can still make a good living. Much better than most people of my size and stature, that's for sure, because people appreciate that I've been around for 18 years, I've honed my craft, and I got to the point where I'm doing the content that I feel is meaningful rather than just doing it for the buck like I used to. To be honest, you know, rushing through those games and pumping out those playthroughs extra fast or whatever. Didn't really care about the content I was putting out. Today I do. Today I want to be putting out good content. You understand? Eddie Chill, who gives two fucks? No, really, why would you even type that in my chat? Who gives two fucks about documentaries? No one gives a shit. I don't care about any moron making a fucking documentary about me. I don't give a shit. Let them do what they want, say what they want. I'm sure it's not actually going to cover good things. It's only going to focus on bad. It's going to rehash the same fucking territory. Nobody fucking cares. Okay. Jaron Church did a $5 super chat. He says, I'm tired of the playthrough. Hope this is the last day and we'll get Street Fighter tomorrow. I like you, but I can't watch this anymore. Now here's the truth, right? Listen to Jaron. I'm playing this game as much as I can to beat it as fast as I can, so it's not a drawn-out playthrough, and people are tired of it already. Do you see? But what's happened is very simple. People are used to variety on this channel. 100%. People now, they're so used to it. Phil plays a different game every stream. He doesn't play too much of one game. So the mentality is when I play a lot of one game, people can't stomach it. I get it. That's why I do the variety I do, but that's also why it takes me so much longer to beat games, because I'm balancing and people like that variety structure. So the way we're doing it is like this. Today, the daytime stream is Resident Evil Requiem. We're going to see how far we can get. Tonight, it's RimWorld returning, and it's going to be a very stressful RimWorld stream. We're in a situation where we have to fight a bunch of robots, and we're not really well equipped to fight them. I'm not feeling too good about tonight's late stream. I think people are going to die. Let's put it that way. Okay. Tomorrow, yes, the daytime stream again will be Resident Evil Requiem, but I actually want to do a podcast because it's the second podcast of the week, and I want to summarize all of my thoughts about the game in one place, and that's the place to do it. And then we're going to see if we can beat it. If we do not beat Requiem tomorrow, all right, then we are going to finish it tomorrow night. So understand that if we don't beat it on the day stream tomorrow, I want to finish the game tomorrow. I don't want this to be a lingering playthrough that continues into next week. I want it done so that way people can see the ending and we can move on. All right? So tomorrow we're beating it one way or another. If we do complete it on the first stream, then it's going to be Street Fighter on the late stream. Who am I using? I don't know, but not Sagat. I don't remember how to fucking use him. So we're probably just going to pick any random character, maybe Dalzim or something, and we'll just play, and we'll have a time with Street Fighter tomorrow night. Okay? And then the Retrothon is Friday. So then people can stop complaining that they want another game because it will be done with this one. Someone tipped $1 and says, I am seeing an alarming trend that bigger streamers basically get games, rush through them, and then kind of toss them out and play other stuff right away. And what do you think about that? I've already explained. Listen, they can do that, but that's not the kind of content that I put out. Okay? There's a difference between I'm a streamer that's just there to entertain my audience in the now, do whatever's hot, and move right on to the next, or someone who's trying to actually make legacy content that you will watch after the fact because it has posterity and meaning. That's what I'm doing. I'm not just here to entertain just the live audience. I'm here to make content also for an on-demand audience who will watch after the fact. So I have to do things differently. I don't just have an archive stream that doesn't even say what's in the stream and you have to watch it raw and skip around. I edit it out. I have the parts that are the playthrough, the parts that are the morning show, the parts that are the podcast, the parts that are the daily wrap, and I edit them out. I title them. I put them in playlists. I put thumbnails. I put the extra work in so that people will actually watch after the fact on demand. And I do have good on-demand viewership. I still bring in about 500,000 views a month on the DSP gaming channel, and that's with the decline in viewership on streams because people are watching on Kick. I want you to think about that. Since I started co-streaming on Kick, I have seen no decline in views on YouTube. You would think, well, you should, because now your streams are split. No. So in reality, since I started streaming on Kick, I've actually increased my total viewership every month because all those views I get on Kick are actually additional views to what I usually would get. And I do get residual ad revenue on all of the videos that I put on YouTube, which is a focus of mine. I want people to watch the content after the fact. Right now, I'm getting far more revenue on the back end for Resident Evil. Like, I'm actually getting a lot of revenue on the back end because the videos are all getting thousands of views. And this will continue for a couple of weeks. Like, that playthrough will probably get decent viewership for about 2 to 3 weeks. So by the time's all said and done, this playthrough will be very profitable for me. Even if the viewership falls off at the end, it's still fine. It's going to do well. And I'm happy for that people watch it after the fact. It's a different product than Oh, yo, hi, everyone. I'm here to entertain the audience. Let's act weird. Let's scream. Let's do backflips. Let's fucking drink this energy drink. Let's bounce off the wall. Oh, let's play Resident Evil. Oh, let's play Resident Evil. Oh, we're playing Resident Evil now. Oh, we're getting through Resident Evil. Oh, look, we killed all these. Oh, Resident Evil. Oh, what's next? Oh, let's react. Let's react to some news. Oh, let's react. News. Oh, what's next? Oh, my God, I can't even believe it. This guy just said something about me. Let's see what he said. Oh, look, let's react to that. Let's do it. Oh, let's play Resident Evil. Let's Resident Evil. That's not me. Okay? That's not my content. That's what a lot of people do. These streamers, they're crazy, and they're just there in the moment to act a fool and try to entertain an audience. Their eyes are always like this. I say, move around. Whatever. You know me. I've always been real. I've always been myself. I'm not a cartoon character. I'm not acting. The one time I would say I ever acted was back in the day, the commentary when I was playing a game. I would always try to say something risque to get a rise out of the audience. But outside of that, I've been a legit person myself for a long time now, over a decade, being the real me on the internet and making the content that I want to make and being successful at it. And I'm happy for that. So thank you for that, for supporting it, watching it, really. Why? Now, listen to this retarded statement. You don't sound jealous at all. Crying. Who the fuck is jealous? I don't want to be like that. At all. I have no desire to be a fake cartoon character bouncing off the fucking walls to satisfy an audience of young people who have ADD. I don't give two shits. That audience means nothing. I want to put out content that's meaningful for people who have fucking brains, who are, have an IQ above 50, and who actually want to see something meaningful. When you watch my Resident Evil 9 playthrough, I want you to laugh. I want you to cry. I do. I want you to cry at the parts that I suck at. But at the end of the day, when I beat the game, I want you to have gotten a good representation of what the game is, so you can judge for yourself if that's a good game, bad game, or somewhere in between. All right? That's my goal. Not, I got 5 minutes, I laughed at the stream, and I fucking, No, that's not what it's about for me. Captain Psycho says, I watch your stuff on demand most of the time. I'm usually working when you're streaming. And I know that. Listen, my longevity speaks volumes, right? It does. The fact that I'm still here and I'm still relevant and I have an audience that watches me every day live, but I also have an audience that watches this stuff on demand and equally they enjoy the content. That means something to me. That's why I go that extra mile to curate that content to make sure that it is watchable and easily followable on the channel because of the thumbnails, the titles, the playlists, and everything that I put the extra work into, instead of just saying, I finished my stream for today and I made a few bucks doing the stream, so I just throw the archive stream up with absolutely no effort and then I'm done for the day. I don't do that. But that's because they don't ask gamers about anything. Here's who they ask: the journalists and the influencers. They're not gamers, okay? Those two groups are not gamers. They're not. They benefit from games. They exploit games for profits, but they're not gamers. You actually have to ask real gamers what they want, then you'll make good products. But they don't do that. They ask the wrong fucking people. Why? Because they're money chasers. They only care about making the almighty dollar. They don't care about putting out a meaningful product that has longevity, that has, cultural relevance. They don't care about any of that. They just, how do I make the most profit? Well, it's not working anymore. You're chasing trends. You're trying to do copycat, content. No one cares. No one's going to buy that content anymore. Marathon very likely is the next to fail, and that comes out tomorrow. Likely that's the next to fail. Because again, it's just trend chasing. It's literally a game that doesn't have to exist and doesn't really innovate. Caterade, thank you for $2. Says, I wish you could get sponsored. You deserve it. Caterade, I'll just say this. I'm happy that I'm not sponsored, because if I was sponsored, number one, I probably would have to change myself. And what I mean by that is the people who get those sponsorships aren't really honest. Okay? And you might say, well, are you shit talking all people with sponsors? No. But I want you to think about this, okay? The moment that someone gets a sponsorship and then actually is honest about the product that they're sponsored by, they lose the sponsorship, or they're going to lose future opportunities. So even if they are, I want you to think about the temptation of taking a sponsorship and not being positive, right? Like, you're always going to want to be positive about something you're sponsored by, because that means future opportunities with more sponsorships. The more positive you are when you have sponsors, the more money you make. The more favored you are, the more things you get early. It's too dangerous. It's too tempting. It's not a situation I would want to be put into, because then I couldn't be honest and transparent with all of you. If I were sponsored by Capcom playing Resident Evil Requiem, I probably wouldn't be criticizing the game at all. You wouldn't know that I don't like the pacing and that I would have preferred to have alternation between Grace and Leon. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know that there's certain things that I didn't like that I was critical of. I wouldn't even mention it. I just play the game with a smile on my face like this and then finish it and then on to the next and bring in the money. That's what sponsorships entail. I don't want to be like that. Even if you're not contractually obligated to say positive things, you're going to be tempted to anyway. Or you're going to be tempted to hold back on your criticisms so that you can continue to be in the good graces of these companies who are sponsoring you. I don't want to be in that position ever. I don't. I had opportunity to do it back in the day. As soon as I got big on YouTube, I started getting opportunities. People were offering me things. PR companies were reaching out. Hey, we want to sign you up and do this and do that. And I ignored them all. I just wanted to do it for myself so I can make honest content. And here I am 18 years later, still doing it. I may be for a very small audience, but I'm still doing it. And I'm still successful at doing it. And I'm happy that I can be myself and not be influenced by this kind of nonsense, which is, it's this machine now that they've created that you have to be positive and kiss butt, only say good things, rush through the game, be positive with it, get the next game for free early, get profit from that, wash, rinse, repeat. This is endless cycle of garbage. It's not quality content. It's just paid advertisement nonstop. I don't want to be a part of that. It's a vicious cycle of nonsense, and people just are so used to it now. It's so commonplace to see the big streamer get the game early, get the sponsorship, play the game. Haha, it's so good. What's the point? You know? Now, of course, the other half of that is if I do get a sponsorship, people get harassed anyway by my detractors. That is a factor. But in reality, I don't want to be a sponsored guy where all I'm doing is pushing, kissing butt, selling product, saying good, happy things. I don't. I want to be honest, you know? So I took the different path. It's a challenging path, let me tell you. It is a challenging path, but it's a good one, in my opinion. It's a noble one. Someone tipped $2 says, that was the worst XQC impression I've ever seen. The fact that you're saying it's an XQC impression when I don't know XQC's content speaks volumes. Seriously. I wasn't trying to do an XQC impression. I don't know what kind of content he puts out. I've never watched him. Besides, I think the one clip that we reacted to him on my React show 2-3 years ago, I've never seen the guy in action. So the fact that you even made that association means that you don't understand what I'm saying. It's that simple. Brute Foster says, I see Raycon and HelloFresh ads on every YouTuber's video nowadays. The sponsor, everyone is trying to sell their products that are factor. Yeah. You know, and the truth is, like, for example, those meal plans are awful. They're awful. Did you ever look into them? So they're going to sell you ingredients so you can make your own meal. All right? That's great. Which you could do by yourself. If you put 5 minutes of effort in, you could find recipes just like the ones that the meal plans are selling you. You can buy exactly the same ingredients at your local grocery store for cheaper, and you can just make the meals yourself. You literally pay like double for those meal plans. It's a complete waste of money. They don't serve any purpose except if you're incredibly fucking lazy and you can't do 5 to 10 minutes of work to research a meal. Then maybe I guess the meal plan, you think there's value there. But I mean, you want to talk about the laziness of society. I can't even be bothered to figure out how to make a meal for myself and my family. That's too hard. I'm going to pay someone else to do it. Wow. Again, my wife and I are eating very healthy right now. Almost everything we eat is incredibly healthy. And it doesn't take tons of extra effort to do. It takes a little bit of research. What's the healthy alternative to the really bad thing that most people eat? And then you just make the meal with that. And you end up being healthy, losing weight. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a cool alternative to say a meal plan where I pay someone exorbitant amounts of money just to make one meal, you know? And, oh, it's easy to do. Yeah, so's everything else. It's not actually that hard. It's not rocket science, you know? All right. So, by the way, for the record, decent attendance. We got 250 people on YouTube. I was hoping for 300 before we started with Resident Evil, but probably we'll get more jumping on when I start the game. Today, please support the stream. Let's get some likes on the YouTube side. Get that engagement going. Please get some support going. Yesterday, for some bizarre reason, Resident Evil floundered when it came to support. We were sitting on $60 of support until the last, 20 minutes. And then a bunch of people supported last minute, and we got over 100. But, I mean, the playthrough was doing outstanding. outstanding until yesterday, and now all of a sudden, it's falling. And it's falling, tripping on its own shoelaces and falling on its face. All right? That's stupid. The game hasn't changed, all right? I'm playing through it. I'm giving you my honest opinion. Please support the stream today. Let's go. Well, how are we even doing? I didn't even look yet. Okay. We haven't gotten any memberships yet. We haven't gotten any kicks yet. We did get 1 sub from Eek, so thank you to Eek for the 1 sub. But let's go. Let's get rallied, and let's get some kicks. Let's get some memberships. Let's get some subs. Let's get that momentum going for Resident Evil again.
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean, these dumb kids. This is what it is, it's dumb kids.